Alright, so this is the second tutorial of typesetting that I'm doing, and this is the image from the previous video, and there are two layers, which is the original layer and the redraw layer. And in this video I'm just going to tell you about the type tool and how to place the texts. Alright, so I'll just select the type tool, and then what I'll do is I'll focus on the bubble, and to show it clearly I have zoomed it. I'm actually using the shortcut for zooming in and out, which is I am holding the Alt button and then placing my mouse button or whatever I want, or whatever the image area I want, and then scrolling up to zoom it. And I can do similar for scrolling down like this, for scaling down, and similarly to zoom this bubble I'll just hold Alt, hover my mouse over this bubble, and then scroll up to zoom in. Alright, so I'm typesetting Japanese manga, so the text, the reading, how I will read this manga is from right to left and up to down like this. So this bubble will be the first bubble, this second, this third, and the next is fourth. Alright, so let me just on the red dot layer, and for our ease I can go to the layer and select the red dot one and layer the opacity to around 90%. This is kind of visible, but I don't think it will be visible to you in the video, so I'll just decrease it to around 70%. Alright, now the main use, I have focused over the text bubble, so I'll select the type tool whose shortcut is the T button. Alright, so one more thing, the shortcut for the move tool is V and for the text tool is T. So I can usually switch between the move tool and text tool by clicking this. Right, and I will do so in this video without telling you, so you'll have to understand that I have clicked the V button to use the move. Now I have pressed T using the type tool, and what I'll do is I'll place a text box, the bounding box or whatever we want to call it, on one side of the bubble, which is left, and then drag it to the lower right bubble. This actually specifies where I want to put the text, and this is usually done on the outer lines of the bubble, so the text is placed very smoothly, and this is what you should do to put the text to. This ensures that the text always stays inside the bubble and does not leave it. Alright, so the first text is this line, so I'll just copy it by using Ctrl C and replace it using Ctrl V, and I'll use the font yada lower. Right, and now I can decrease the text bounding box by left clicking and holding it. Alright, and then alright, so it happened so fast, so let me just tell you again. I actually made the bounding box smaller, click the right button here, and then switched it to move tool by pressing V. This happened, then I'll drag this to the center of the bubble, and then the scaling part. Alright, so I can't scale it like this or this, because it will actually make the change the text scaling or the width and the height. So to cancel it, I'll just click the cancel button. What I'll actually do is place the text, click on the shift, hold the shift and then drag it, so it actually maintains the scale, the aspect ratio of the text bubble. Then I can drag it again to place it. Alright, then click on the right to save it. This is very important part to save it, because if you don't save it, it will go to the original place and original size. Alright, so now this text, now this is women stay away from Takeru, this text. Alright, so I'll do the same. I'll place the mouse over the text bubble outline, click and hold it, and then drag it to the lower corner, like here or here, whatever, wherever you want to put, and then I'll use Ctrl plus V to paste it. Now we can see that these fonts are different, so I can use another font. I'll use a font called Bilzy. Alright, I'll just cancel it because I actually changed something there. I actually rotated it by one angle or 2-degree angle that I don't want, so I repeated the steps. Control B, selected all to change the font by Control plus A. Then I'll search the font that I want. Since I remember the name, I can usually just put the name of the font. Alright, or I can just scroll over this and find the font, but it is easier to just remember the name and then change them. Alright, like this, and then similarly I press the right button, shift to scale it, then V to move it. Alright, you have to actually select the move button to scale it, because well, we can also use the edit and transform, free transform or transform, but the move tool can do the job, because we have selected here the show transform controls. Right. Now I want to copy this font over here. Don't ask me why I'm using the same font, even though it is different here and here. So what I'll actually do is okay, so right now this font is selected by default, this one, the Bilzy. So if I want to change to this, I can do is click on this text by using the type tool and then right click it. This will save my default font to the previous font or whatever the font I've chosen, like here or here. And it will actually copy various attributes too, which is in the character tabs. Alright, so let me tell you about something about the character tab. It is font, it is the categorization, and this one is, I don't think you can see it, but it is A above A, which actually is the difference between two lines, the space between two lines. Alright, so this is right now set to auto, and you should always set it to auto unless necessary, because when we change the size of the font we need to scale it too. Alright, so this is set to auto like this. So auto actually scales it according to font, and which is usually this is usually about 1.5 times around this text size. So calculator, 83.46 into 1.5, and I get 125.19. so if I put it here, I'll actually get more of it. I don't. Alright, so it is not 1.5, I guess. But yeah, you won't find much difference if the text is smaller. This is because the text is a lot bigger, which is 83.46 points, which means the height of the text is around 84 pixels. So then I guess it is around 84 into 1.25 or 105. Let's try to change it to 105. Alright, this is almost it. So it actually is 1.2 times the text size, which is 20% more than the text size. So now the next is the matrix. You don't actually need to bother about this. And the next is the this one is the difference. You also don't have to bother with this, I guess, right now. You can look at it later, or I'll just tell you. This is the difference between each character, I mean the space between each character, and this is the set the tracking for selected characters. This is all it. Well, don't bother with it. The next thing is the percentage of height of the text, or always set it to 100%. And the next is the percent of the horizontal scale, always set it to 100% because 100% means 1. Right, now don't bother with this is the color text that you always see here. And the next is this one. Alright, so this is for making fox bold, fox italics, which I showed you in the previous one. This is all caps to make all capital. This one is, it actually makes the capital one bigger and the smaller one smaller, or it is also called small caps, like this. Alright, don't bother with it. I should give you a better example. Suppose I have put I use a fund called agency FB regular, and I put sample text like this. Alright, so you can see the S is capital, T is capital. Now let me just do this. So what it actually did is it made all of them capital, but which were already capital, it made them bigger. Alright, so this you should only know about this. So let's get back to typesetting. So what I was telling was, we can actually copy the default settings from the previous typesetted bubble and then paste it later. And now for the next text, this one, I can use T. I use T to select the type tool, dragged it, pasted it, made it look better, right clicked it, arranged it. I can make it smaller or bigger according to the font. Well, one more. Well, I think I should tell you that thing in the later part of the video, because it should be covered in the add-ons, as it actually helps in making the typesetting better, or I should say that it gives quality to typesetting, to your typesetting work. Alright, so this is it. So the main tools that I used are move tools, text tools, and the shortcuts are T, V. To scale it, I hold it, shift and then dragged it, and for zooming in and out, I hold it Alt button. With the Alt button is right next to the Windows button, or whatever your command button. Alright, so now it is all done. I'll Control plus F to save it. And yeah, one more thing, we also need to change the opacity of the redraw layer to 100%. so I'll just change it here. There's also a shortcut to changing the opacity of layer. Well, so right now I've selected a redot layer, and when I click the any numbers on the keyboard, like suppose 9, it will change the opacity to that number. Right now, okay, right now the opacity is 50%, and to change it to 40%, I'll click 4, 40%, 1, 10%, 9, 90%, and 1, 0, and 10. Well, it isn't happening. Alright, I guess. So I think I'll have to change it manually for 100%. We can also change it to 2 digits, which is let's 1 5 15, 8 9 89, 9 9 99, but we can't change it to 100 because it only accepts until till the 2 digits. Alright, now control S to save it again. This page is good to go. Alright, so I'll see you in the later video where I might have, well, alright, see you in the later video. I will cover the topic in the next video.